Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back I don't know if this is my third or fourth video that I post, but just wanted to touch base with everyone. I made it to Jiujitsu last night. I actually brought my cousin with me. He's 17 years old, and it's crazy because I remember this kid like just being ways like I remember him being born. Now the kid is taller than me. Where does the time go? Um, so he came to jujitsu with me last night, and he had a good time. Um, I have a neck sprain. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, my neck does hurt. But it was a good time. Yesterday we practiced fundamentals, no gi fundamentals, which I really enjoy. And tonight we'll be doing a little bit more advanced no gi, working on submissions and defending submissions. So I'm really looking forward to that. And so is my neck. Um, but yeah, so yesterday I had posted a video in regards to a scenario where one of our clients got upset because of the masking that we did in the prep work, how it really wasn't up to par. And so the client told me that, hey, like we looked at your Instagram, we saw your online profile, and like it does not look like how you usually go about masking, and that was a whole issue. And but I just wanted to let you guys know that it's been resolved. The client really appreciated the fact that we took initiative. Like um, we were there the next day, and the next morning, first thing, and we got the cleaning crew. They're scheduled to come in today. Um, and so the client just was way more at ease. We completed the project this morning, and they're really happy with the results. And they're in the area, so when it comes to a client that's in my area, close to home, like it's more like more sentimental to me, and it's our community, right? So wow, my eyes are big. My girl's always telling me that my eyes are really big, and I just noticed that, yeah, like they really are big. But uh, I'm glad to say that the client appreciated the fact that we took initiative, and that she saw the sense of priority in us, and that we took care of things, and that's always great to hear. But of course, we always want to avoid those situations because it's a risky situation, because it can go either way. Some clients are willing to work with you, some are not. And I've had those clients. Ugh. But there's some clients that you work with that really are just like, it's just not it's just not logical, and they really expect perfection on old homes. And like when you explain to them your process, I always try to explain my process as best as possible. I'm not perfect, dude. So I try not to miss anything, but some clients really just can't really, like, you try working with them. I'm the type of person that, like, I'll work with you. I know I'm not perfect, um, but if there's an issue, I'm gonna try to resolve it. I wanna give the client a good experience. That's what I'm about. And I've never left the client hanging, and if I have, I'm sorry, not that I know of. So I'm willing to work with people, but if they're not willing to work with me, there's only so much I can do. And so yeah. But yeah, glad that everything worked out, and we took care of it, and we took initiative. And I keep going back to initiative because it really is about taking initiative on things, in your work and your back end, the administrative stuff, and also in operations. Um, Operations for me has been really like my biggest obstacle, because operations is what's really consumed a lot of my time. Consume my time in the way that, like, it kind of hinders me a little bit more on working on our back end. I'm big on the back end, because that is my background is actually an MBA with a focus on management information systems. So that is one of the main reasons why I got into the home improvement field, the painting industry, cleanest painting. It was because I wanted to integrate more technology into the home improvement sector, especially the painting sector, which is what I was exposed to from a younger age. So I kind of had more experience with that through my uncle, and so, but operations, Lord have mercy, it's I can see why Elon Musk would sleep in his factory for like the first 3 years, and yeah, like it's so time consuming, especially like if you don't have good management skills, time management skills. It can really consume a lot of time, and that's what it's done to me. So that's why I have my significant other who she's really good at operations. That's why I said like I was surprised that like the masking was done the way it was with this previous project for an interior painting job that we did, and we were just painting the walls. But so I was really surprised that they didn't mask the way we usually do, and so but it was taken care of, and so my significant other like I literally tell her, I'm like, you have the eye of the tiger because this woman catches everything. Like clients have literally told us, I don't have to look for anything. Corolla, she takes care of everything. Um, so she looks for everything, and I don't even have to look, and it's true. Like she's always on point. So, but we all make mistakes, and we can just improve. And so, after this whole situation, it brought to light to me that we really need to update our processes and just keep it in a concise space, have a document, and that way, we can educate the team and also even my significant other as a project manager to really make sure that we follow these steps to avoid the situation because like I said it can go either way with certain clients, but sometimes you do have those clients that understand, and like I said you have clients that won't understand, but we want to avoid that situation. So um, but at the end of the day it all goes back to taking initiative and just using common sense, like what can you do to make the situation better, and you you you'll know it'll be a gut feeling to see what steps you should take, and don't be selfish, and if you put the client first you're gonna figure it out, and then but if there's clients that won't work with you and they'll hit you with a bad review, dude, and you got a bad review, all right, so what do you have to do now? Let's say you got a bad review, let's say the situation went bad, you know what you got to do? All right, let's see what clients I can call to try to get more reviews so that way they can bump me up with my rating online. And this takes me to the back end again. You should have a report that helps you log how many reviews you're obtaining from your clients. You should have that report, and you should review that report um, at least on a monthly basis. Do I use this report? No. And should I be using this report? Yes, because I've been in that situation where, like, I had an assistant, and I had to let my assistant go because I just I didn't feel like, I don't know, it was like she was great. She was great, especially with systems because I use a couple I use a CRM. I also use ClickUp, which is like a project management platform. I'm big on software. So we built some great systems on ClickUp, for our follow up process with our pre what is it called? But basically, like we have a pre-plan, we have a plan for when we're currently in like our pre-production plan, we have a production plan, and we have a post-production plan. So we created that system on ClickUp, and so it makes it easier for us to just kind of like check mark the things that we completed, what's next, what we have to do, and so that we definitely created a great system with that, and it still needs to be updated, but back to this report. You should have a report that will log how many clients you have reached out to in regards to getting reviews. Like, once you complete a project with a client, you should ask for that review, and you should make it part of your process, and you should log the outcomes. And if you did receive a review with a 5 star, you should log like why they gave you a good review, what they liked, and if they didn't give you a good review, or someone gave you some negative feedback, then you should input that information somewhere and log that, so that way you can stay up, you can keep track of your common mistakes, so that way you can tackle them, and know what you should work on. So out of every situation comes an opportunity, right? I remember I used to work at Wells Fargo, and they wouldn't call it weaknesses; they would call them areas of opportunities. So, out of every mistake or out of any weakness that you have, there is an area of opportunity, and so it's all really about perspective. You can always improve. So, like I said, I mean, if we would have gotten a bad review, what are we gonna do? Cry and shut down? No, man. What can we do? All right, we got a bad review. All right, so since we got a bad review, it affected our rating. Then this is what we need to do to improve our rating. So you always, and that's what I love about jujitsu as well, because it's kind of very similar. There's always problems in jujitsu. Like while you're trying to solve, while you're rolling, you're constantly trying to solve problems. You do one thing, then something else pops up over here. So you got to move over here, and that's the same with life. That's the same with business, especially business. I think Larry Ellison is someone that I've been kind of like digging up some research on. Seems like a pretty very intelligent guy, and the way he went about like becoming number one with Oracle, dealing with IBM and Microsoft. He said, what did he say? I'm horrible with like these phrases and quotes, but he said, everything is fair in love, war, and business, something like that. But basically, yeah, like you got to figure it out, man. So great chatting with you guys. Trying to be consistent with all these videos. I'm trying to post at least once a day, and hoping to create a community here with like-minded people. And I'm glad we got to touch base a little bit about the CRMs and the platforms that I use, because I will be diving a bit more deep into that, and some recommendations that I have in regards to things that you can implement for your business if you're in a similar field. You don't have to be in the home improvement field. I don't want to stay in the home improvement field. I mean, I'm gonna stay here and I want to create a legacy for my family, but there's many things that I want to do, and I actually got into the home improvement field without as much experience as some other people. But if you can sell, you can start any type of company. Of course, do your due diligence, but yeah, I think that every business, once you have a foundation in regards to your processes and systems, I think you can create anything. All right, guys.